It is your spooky friend Grace with a little Spooktober announcement before our review of the maddening game Cult of the Deep. Today is the last day that you can comment on one of our Spooktober videos for a chance to win a brand new copy of Horrified, a maddening cooperative board game with iconic monsters. So let us know your thoughts on today's game and any of the games in the past month for your chance to win. We'll announce the winner on tomorrow's video of the top 5 horror games from the month and comment on the winning person's comment. We so appreciate all of your watches and comments, and we hope you have a great Halloween. Hi, I'm Gracie, and this is Scott from Small Worlds Big Adventures, and today we're going to be reviewing Cult of the Deep.
Cult of the Deep is a game for 4 to 8 players. It plays in 45 to 75 minutes, mostly dependent on how many players you have. Yeah. The game is going for $30 on Amazon right now, which, spoiler, great price for, almost any type of game, but great price for this. Set up about 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. How does it
Cult of the Deep is essentially a hidden role game. You're all cultists. You complete rituals, which give sometimes individual characters power and sometimes the group power, until you can kind of ultimately get the Kraken summoned. Although that doesn't actually end the game. It's just basically the most powerful ritual in the basic game. But you have hidden roles, one of which is the cult leader, who is known at the beginning of the game. He's got a rebellion in his ranks who want to kill him and take control of the group. And he's got loyalists, and you don't necessarily know who's who. And so you're just kind of vying for control of the cult as you're moving along.
It's like Secret Hitler meets H.P. Lovecraft.
Yep.
Before we get into the review, we do have a question for you guys. If you were to join a cult, what would it be for? And let's be quite honest. I would join a cult for dogs.
Okay.
Worshipping the dogs, taking care of the dogs, whole life thing about the dogs. I am that basic. What about you?
I play board games. I'm basically already in a cult.
I did. When I wrote this question, I was like, I was already in a cult. I did CrossFit.
You did CrossFit. You were in a cult. It was exercise.
Someone also say I belonged to the Taylor Swift cult.
Sure.
But, you know.
Yep.
So the board game cult.
Or role-playing games. Or video games.
Very nice. But what cult would you belong to? When we rate games, we do it on a 5-point scale from terrible, bad, mixed, good, all the way up to excellent. And to kick it off, we're going to talk about player agency. What did you think?
I put player agency as good. This is one of those games, though, where you don't have a lot of options of things to do. It's a hidden role game. Those tend to be kind of more on the party game side of things in essence. So there's not really a lot of options. The choices that you mostly make in this game are which of the rituals that are out you're going to help, assist. Some of that is dependent on dice rolls, but you generally can choose multiple, if not all of them. But on top of that, you also can choose to do stuff against other players as you're going through. Every player has a special ability, in addition to a number of other things. So there are a few options, and in the realm of what the game allows you to do, your agency is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's good too, kind of building off of what you said. There's a lot of hidden role games where like the main action you take is just voting. Resistance, Avalon, those type. So in that sense, like you have way more options than you can do. And there's this balance between, depending on what side you are, trying not to get everybody killed, and then also like trying to achieve whatever your secret role is. So I think it's good. Going into that, I think the mechanics work really well. You roll your dice, you have symbols, you figure out what you can do with the symbols as best you can. It's a complex game, but it's not complicated. Like one round, people are going to figure out what's going on and how to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think like for the most part, it just like flows pretty smoothly.
Yeah. You rated that as good.
Good. Yes, I rated it good.
I mentioned. I also rated. I thought mechanics were good. It is a hidden role game similar to other hidden role games. This one is more of a game,
yes,
than the other hidden role games are, in the sense that you're doing a game thing, and the hidden role thing is kind of a trapping around that. Whereas a lot of the other hidden role games are the hidden role stuff is the game.
Yep.
You're trying to get the rituals complete. Aiding in them usually gives you some sort of bonus, and then when they finish, you're kind of trying to wrestle to be the one in control of those rituals, which can give you a big advantage through the rest of the game. If you kill somebody who has rituals, usually you get to take control of those rituals. So there's kind of this meta game going on with the hidden role stuff, kind of going on around it. I do think that for new players, you need basically a whole game to kind of see what's going on before you really kind of get into it. Because I feel like even for us, when we went through our first game, there was a lot of kind of just stumbling through what the stuff did. There aren't that many rituals in the basic box. If you've played a game, you've probably seen all of them. And once you've gone through and know and see what the different rituals do, then your next game, it's like, okay, well, I know I want to get this ritual. I know I want to get that, which is kind of the really big thing, is which rituals do you want? And then like, which rituals does it give you a big advantage to help? A good example is one of the rituals gives you a coin every time you aid it, and those coins are powerful. So you know when that ritual comes out, you kind of want to do that as quick as you want. Whereas your first game, you don't necessarily see how those coins are going to help down the line. My other issue with the game, no, I do think the mechanics are good. I have enjoyed, I feel like the way the rituals work out through the game work really well. The stuff they give you seem pretty balanced for the most part. The only real complaint mechanics-wise I have, like, I don't mind that it's a little complex and it maybe takes most of the game or a full game before you maybe really see what's going on. But even after playing multiple games, I'm not sure it actually behooves you to keep your secret role secret. It's still unclear to me whether that matters that much. One character it kind of does, because they're neither with the cultist leader or with the other one. They kind of want everybody to die. So it makes sense that they want to stay hidden. But even then, like, they have advantages if they get taken out or whatever. But it seemed unclear whether actually staying hidden really helps you out that much.
I would say that's almost the reason why the mechanics do work, is because, like, if you get found out, it's not like necessarily the end of the game for you.
Yeah, it very much isn't. Usually, especially depending on which side you are, especially if you're a what they call the rebels, I forget what they call them, you probably are going to be out of the game fairly soon. But you're not out of the game right away. No. And you can still do a lot of damage before you go. And that's something. And even if you get taken out, you become a spirit, a ghost that has an effect on the game still. So yeah, the mechanics are good. Like they're solid.
Component wise, I think they're good. You have your bag of coins. Most of the, like, board, if you will, is cards, but the card art is nice and they're good cards.
They're solid stock with, like, little things to put the wooden tokens in to show that you're advancing the rituals.
So, like, oh no, I think it's pretty good. For, like, it's not a game where you need standees or printout guys and whatnot. So, like, for what you need in the game, components are good.
Yeah, I agree. The components are good. The art is what there is of it is good. It's dark, it's brooding, and it's sharp. It looks nice.
Yeah, it looks like you walked into the cult version of Hot Topic. It's fine. Going along with that, I think the theming is good. Regardless of what role you get, it's really easy to, like, feel you're in that role. You're trying to take down the cult, or you're trying to make your cult leader the best cult leader in the whole world, or you're just trying to kill everyone. And I think because it's a secret role game, that adds to it. And then because it is cult themed, having the tasks you're doing be rituals and, like, you're feeding, if you will, components into it, that also kind of adds to that, like, oh, we're doing magic in our cult. So I think theming is good.
I agree. Theming is good. I agree with everything you said. The fact that the theme of the game is you're a cult, and then you have these shadowy, backstabby things.
Yep.
Everybody's got, in addition to being a member of a secret cult, a secret identity in the cult. Works real well. Like everything just does kind of come together to make you kind of feel like you're a bunch of shady characters.
Yes.
You know, casting these rituals and backstabbing each other and stuff. So yeah, I agree. The theme is good.
And then enjoyability, I love it. It's a good game. Enjoyability is good. I never have a bad time with it. If you get outed as your character, you're not like out of the game. Again, I love checking a checkbox, and so collecting those rituals make me very happy.
Sure. Yep.
And then like the secret component or secret roles of it adds variety. So one time you're kind of moving in one path, the next time you're moving a different path.
Yeah.
It adds a variety that's enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. Enjoyability is good. I have enjoyed every game I've played. It is one of my favorite secret role games. Certainly, maybe not my most favorite. Kind of depending on what you include in those. Yeah. We've kind of talked about it before. Battlestar is probably my favorite secret role game, but this is up there. The mechanics of the rituals plays so well into the game that it just makes this an enjoyable romp from beginning to end, basically.
What were your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. It needs more. I think the game is fairly new, although fairly new at this point is probably 1 or 2 years old. At least it needs a couple of expansions.
Oh, for sure.
You'll run through all of the rituals that are in the game and maybe double up on a couple of them before you're done with one game. More rituals would be great. Some more roles or backgrounds would be fine, but mostly more rituals would be really good. So it needs more. Again, it's one of my favorite hidden role games. Probably top 3. It works really well for what it's doing there. The roles could use a little more work. They're fine. But they could be. Again, it's a little hard to say whether it matters that much if you reveal yourself. So but it, not in a, like, it's not bad. It just it could be, that could be a little bit more clear or a little more maybe important. It's hard to say. Even after playing a few times, there's just something about that just doesn't quite mesh for me.
They could almost make it like be a choice you make. So like if you do reveal or you get found out, then the dynamics of your role change a little bit or something. So it's not as ambiguous about the importance of secrecy.
I think you're right. Something that happens when you get found out probably would be a really good addition to the game. I'm not quite sure how, but I'm not designing the game, so that's
just
fine.
Do better.
But I think that would do. That would make a lot of sense.
My final thoughts is kind of kicking off of a lot of what you said. Is like it's a hidden role game, kind of. And this is not a criticism of it. It's more like an exploration of like, a lot of times people think that the hidden role games are like this kind of Resistance, Avalon, even Secret Hitler. Can I trust the friends at the table argument style hidden roles? And then they're the ones I think kind of get forgotten when you think just about like that genre, like the Battlestar Galacticas or Winter and those type.
The Thing.
Where it's not so much like the purpose of finding out what other people's roles are. It's just another dynamic of it. And this sits in the middle of those in a really fun way. One of the things we didn't touch on is it does play in 45 to 75 minutes, which is like a pretty quick game. So like Battlestar, you're going to be playing for 3 or more hours.
It will be a long game.
Resistance or Avalon, it's going to be as much as you guys bicker at the table. Where this one's a little more structured and like you could start a night with it, end a night with it, and it'd be good.
Everybody has a number of points of life. And generally the one you're really looking at is the cult leader, because when he goes to 0, one team or the other is going to win. And there's a constant drain on life throughout the whole party, almost no matter what you're doing. So it basically sets a limit in essence.
And despite, and you have this with a lot of the hit and roll games, despite you having very clear objectives, everyone dies. Cult leader dies. Cult leader does not die. You have to cooperate, especially on some rituals, or else everyone dies.
Yeah.
And then you all lose. So there's this like, yeah, you're antagonistic to each other, but also like you have to cooperate so that like the end of the world doesn't happen. But in general, like it's just a very fun game, especially if you kind of like that cult and, for lack of a better analogy, H.P. Lovecraft world.
Yeah.
These aren't the H.P. Lovecraft gods or anything like that.
But it's got that feel to it.
When we were like talking about the other Arkham games and whatnot, I was like, oh, this is my favorite H.P. Lovecraft game. And Scott's like, it's not technically. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is not my favorite H.P. Lovecraft Arkham-inspired game, but it's honorable mention.
Yeah. Final thought, and we kind of mentioned this earlier, but these hidden role games almost always play better with more people.
Yes.
And I do, and some of them can get away with as low as like 4. I do feel like this is one of those where you really need at minimum 5 or 6. And really you want that 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Just because of the kind of two sides team aspect of it don't work well at 4.
Yeah.
I think we've played with the smallest we played is maybe 5. And even at 5, it feels a little bit
wonky.
Not great. Although it's still enjoyable. I mean, we still enjoyed them.
If you like hit and roll games, Hitler, Battlestar Galactica, you're probably going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the Fantasy Flight Arkham games, like we said, it's very much the same vibe as that.
Yeah.
And then Trial by Trolley.
Yeah, because you're 2 teams that are kind of doing questionable morals for stuff. Yeah.
And also you have an impact on each other. And and if you enjoyed this review, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more game reviews, gamekeeper tips, walkthroughs, anything board game related, you can go ahead and hit subscribe. You've hit the notification bell. You'll be notified next time we upload. So if there's nothing else, we'll see you next time.